are getting things underway incredibly. Despite that this thing lasts, this incredible major, the Supreme Major, the IEM Katowice Major 2019, it lasts almost 3 weeks. Today, we've got 2 teams at least going home.
It's an exciting prospect and a scary one at the same time. A lot of maps yesterday, a lot of upsets, a lot of surprising results. I'm sure that will continue. It seems to be something in the air right now in Katowice. Some of the top teams we expect to be doing very well have crashed right down to the bottom, and some of the teams no one was really talking about coming into the major are actually shining.
Yeah, absolutely so. I mean, Chinese teams had, or Asian teams, I should say, in general, obviously there's a mix within that, had a fantastic start yesterday. Vici ultimately is 1-1, but Katowice, it's a 2-0, convincing as well.
Yeah, and they've got to start with the best of 3 today, so that's going to be interesting to see whether they can maintain that form over a longer game. Best of 1s results are great, but they are considered upsets to an extent. Whether they can maintain that form and be as explosive as possible, we will see.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible that they were able to not only get themselves in a best of 3, but they can go through, and therefore, if they do, they make it into the next stage, the Legend stage already, round of 16. And, I mean, again, that gives them so much time. You stay here in Katowice. We know that a lot of teams can boot camp. The facilities are here. Otherwise, I mean, if you play all the way through this, you're playing until Sunday. We start up the next group stage, the Legend stage, on Wednesday. So you want to get the good work done early. Going 3-0 in this stage, especially if you are a team that might have a deep run and actually get it to the top 8, you're making yourself a way easier task.
See who will be participating.
There is a clear change in the way Counter-Strike is being played, and a lot of teams are taking advantage of that. Everybody knows how to play Counter-Strike or know how they want to approach Counter-Strike, so that creates a lot of upsets.
This round is going to push Fnatic onto match and map point.
Oh, Meister catches out far, and now it's all on cold.
It's going to get planted. Cleve and Dupree pushing up from Banana.
Championship point for Fnatic. One more will do it.
Any team, any player is striving to be at this place. Coming back here with a new roster is a dream come true.
Full focus. We get to the major, but we are not even close to our final objective.
This was the goal for us, attend the major again as a fully finished team, but we are not done yet.
It doesn't really matter what we want and think and what we dream of. It matters what's going to happen on the server.
You do this because you love it, but honestly, like, every round's just so much pressure built on you. It's do or die.
There you go. Challenger stage, there is 16 of them alone. We get joined by the 8 legends again next week. There is a lot of teams here that are out to prove themselves. Vitality want to reinvigorate the French scene altogether. Not to mention that you've got Ents, as Alu said, they wanted to come here as an all-Finnish team, to get back to a major as an all-Finnish team, but they're not done. And I, frankly, had them as one of the 3-0 potential teams.
I think a lot of people did. I think at the minor especially, they showed how good they were, but we were questioning, can they keep that level against top-tier opposition? They've played a lot of lower-tier tournaments, and hopefully we want to see them actually maintain that form. The thing is, yesterday, I was so thoroughly impressed with what they brought to the table on Overpass. It just looked so clinical. It looked so great. I was really impressed by what they can do. A team that's definitely, for me, making it to the next stage, but like I said,
and they
through the best of 3s is the next big time.
Yes, I mean, they had G2, which were kind of throwing them a few rounds, I will say, I mean, they put them on the ropes, let's face it. I mean, that goes both ways. G2 didn't play a game, but Ents did. We'll look at the Swiss format now, because obviously it is a Swiss format. Difference being from this major, and finally, thank you, Valve, for playing along. Thank you, ESL and IEM, for coming up with this. Not only is it a Swiss system, it's finally a seeded Swiss system based on an ELO. So it's not an ELO, but it's based on an ELO of how the teams ranked themselves coming into this. Furthermore, all of your elimination and advancement matches are best of 3s.
Which is a great addition, right?
Oh, that's huge. Both of those are great additions. Both of those on their own I would have been happy with, but together that's fantastic. There's no arguments. This is the best Swiss system format we've had. It takes a lot more time. That's why we're almost 3 weeks. It's a big investment to do it. I applaud ESL for taking that on, because it is, look, to run these events a whole other week, that's a I don't even want to know how much that costs. It's a lot. That's a huge amount of money to do it, but they've done it, and they've done it because they want this to be the best major. They want the community to be happy. They want the teams to be happy. So just as an idea, and we looked at sort of the graphics that show the 2-0 teams already, the 0-2 teams already, just as a sort of a bit of insight as to how that works, because there's a lot more to it. There's some people with some smart mathematics that have put together the algorithm, but basically the teams rated themselves. So the fact that Fnatic's 0-2, they were rated #1 by all the other teams coming into this session. So if people say, well, that's a terrible draw, we got Fnatic today. Well, no, sorry, that rating was done by you guys, and even if they play badly, that's on them. That's not on the rating.
Yeah, the matchups they should get statistically favor them in terms of the system and how it works. Speaking of which, and all the teams we just saw, let's have a look at today's games on both streams and see who will be playing and what action we'll be bringing you at this point. Do we have the graphic we can throw up there? Get it ready to go? That is down here. Okay, it's down there. Right, I thought it was going to be a big full screen graphic.
I was waiting too. I was like, Henry, you got something planned?
It's down here.
I thought you did this and they did enlarge it. That would have been cool.
All right, so we've got G2 Avantgarde there, Vici Cloud9, Renegade to a 2-0 right now, of course, going up against ENCE. That's going to be the first progression game going through there, and NRG Tyloo as well. Some really good games. What's jumping off the page for you?
Well, this is the thing. Nothing's jumping off the page per se, and that's the best part, because it used to be they would jump off the page for all the wrong reasons. This was the problem with the Swiss system. You go, oh my God, how are those teams playing each other? That's really amazing game, but horrible for this point. Someone's going to go 2 off that. The fact that nothing does jump off this page is fine. That's the way it should be. NRG Tyloo, I think that game's going to be the best, though. I think that's going to be the best Counter-Strike you'll see today. Potentially, because you've also got some teams that are looking to reshape themselves. Now, this side on our stream, Vega versus Vitality, NiP, Windstrike, Fnatic up against Greyhound, and then, of course, the South Americans in Furia going up against Spirit. All of those are pretty even. I think the NiP Windstrike, you probably lean toward NiP the most in terms of the favorites in that. The rest could go either way.
I guess the one I want to talk about the most is Fnatic Greyhound. So we've got Fnatic who have gone 0-2, right? So have Greyhound, but Greyhound have had some very, very close games. They were unfortunate not to progress through them. They actually had like a 13-2 lead on Nuke. They got thrown away. It was looking very, very good for them. Then it went horribly wrong. Do you think Greyhound could take down Fnatic? Do you think that's a possibility?
First and foremost, to go back to that 13-2 lead, it's their first major. For them to suffer that's going to be very tough mentally, because they were that close to winning a game at a major and put themselves in one-on-one, which in this system now, I mean, now they're facing elimination every game they play from here on out. In this, if they make it through and they reset, great. Puts a lot of pressure on them. Do I think they can beat Fnatic? The way Fnatic played yesterday, perhaps.
Sure.
They were also quite tilted, quite triggered. The difference is they've played in many majors. They've got major champions on the team. They know how to mentally reset. So I still favor Fnatic in that. I do. I have to say it. But it's not out of the realms of possibility.
Well, remember, it has been done before. The most historic one, Cloud9, on this stage of the tournament, they managed to go 0-2 and then went on to win the whole major. So it can be resurrected and maybe a wake-up call. But either way, Matthew, on this stream, we're going to have Vega versus Vitality to kick things off. We'll take a break for now and be back with that matchup and the pre-game in a moment.
Champions of ESL 1 Cologne.
Do you remember?
Welcome to the Cathedral of Counter-Strike.
Think you've seen it all?
Are you ready to be a part of Counter-Strike history?
ESL 1 returns to Cologne in 2019.
Think you can't capture a clutch in full resolution while streaming the play to the world? Watch this. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Synergy of brute strength core power to thrive under pressure in the most hostile conditions and built to overclock. Prepare for combat. Go forth and conquer.
I've been there since the beginning. Every map, every frag, every moment. I run, but I never hide. With knowledge comes power, and power is to be wielded wisely. Which is why, as the expert, I bet with Betway. If you know CSGO, then you'll know the best way to bet on esports is with Betway, for the love of the game.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
It is indeed time for the pre-match. We'll get things started with our best of ones, our 1-1 decider games. It's pretty straightforward. Both these teams won and lost yesterday, which means they're right in the middle of the pack, at least in terms of results. It's Vega Squadron. It's Vitality. Vitality, nearly 0-2 yesterday, though.
It's been a rough one for them. Everyone's expecting this project with the new lineup now, trimming some of the fat perhaps, and looking their best. We've obviously got Zywoo, who's considered one of the best upcoming talents in the game right now, playing lights out for these guys. Hasn't looked his best at this particular event. That's been the main problem for them. They do rely on him to go off.
Interestingly, all of our matches on the B stream so far, Henry, we did 2 last night and 1 this morning. They've all been Overpass. We're going to have that yet again. Vitality had the final ban. Obviously, it comes down to what's left over, but this should, in theory, be middle ground. The way that the best of 1 works, it's essentially as if you're going to the 3rd map on a best of 3. Everything else is banned out. It should, in theory, be a middle ground.
MBK made an interesting tweet just now. He said, for Valentine's Day, a lot of romance in the air. He wants to send out a lovely message to the opposition. So he said, for Valentine's Day, I want to make love to Vega Squadron. Take from that what you will. I think it's a nice message to them. And
is that okay? Okay, yeah, I'm going to throw in another word for love.
Yeah,
and he wants to do. Yeah, okay.
It's a nice message, a good sentiment, I think. Just sharing the love on a day like this and making sure that yes, we can't be with our loved ones. We're at the major, but he's still making sure his teammates are aware of his intentions, which I think is beautiful. As we do kick things off, you can see we probably have got Vitality as the favourite here. Vega haven't impressed me so far. They haven't been the show-stopping team. We saw a couple of majors ago when they started turning heads. Overpass going to be a bit of a tricky map. We'll see who comes out on top. Vitality going in hard as Zywoo tries to find that initial headshot. Actually received a bullet in the face himself. He'll be down to 7 HP. And you can see now MBK with the smoke diffuse kit, maybe trying some antics towards the end of the round. And on the Vega Squadron side, we've got that 1 smoke flashbang combo. That's in the back pocket of JR. We've got some short control from the CTs. Alex in a very promising position as Vega make their way up long.
So Chopper already taking a bit of damage. He's going to work out to clear connector. Zywoo is inside of that, so watch out for him because Apex thankfully got in position in time, just enough to get information. And that is all Zywoo needed as he finds the headshot onto Chopper. Still in a bit of trouble. Well, not necessarily trouble, but still has company around because Crush is out behind the rock. They didn't go out of connector toward the front of the bathroom, so he can focus firmly on that position. Meanwhile, it's back over toward B. That's where RPK plays in behind the barrels. Alex still trying to find out one. It's Tony Black. It's going to shut him down instead. Alex has to be a little bit cautious here. Doesn't want to get overcommitted, doesn't want to get caught out. They've also got a flank coming in, so he's got problems. Wants to wait for his teammates to get inside of the site. When they do, thankfully, that's when he walked forward because the shot missed from Crush, and they knew exactly where he was. All down to Tony Black. 3 players firing at him. He only found 1.
Got a little bit dicey towards the end there. They sort of lined up for them, but there we go. Vitality winning the round. Like we said, Alex getting that information towards shore, pushing all the way towards the connector. Almost got caught out by the flank, but turned around, managed to negate the threats, and it's all fine. Vega Squadron there with a default to kick things off. A little bit of presence towards long. ZywOo finds that kill on low HP as well after being dinged at the very start of the round. He gets a nice headshot, funnels him towards B, and at that point, Vitality able to trade them out and finish in a 2 versus 1. And we will see no bomb go down, and presumably just a full eco here with just one deagle purchase. Tony Black got a couple of kills. That's $600. He can afford to spend $700 on that deagle and still have more money than his teammates. So there you go. And it should be quite the gimme round for Vitality at this point. You see ZywOo hungry for frags, and these sort of players, these star potential players, if they start getting nice amount of eco frags to kick things off, they do well on the pistol, that's when their confidence starts to build and they can start looking godlike. We'll see if that starts to come through. We need a few from him to kick it off. It's going to be the first kill in favor of ZywOo. He did hit the footsteps of Chopper as well as he throws a decent grenade. That's going to do a ton of damage towards Chopper. 60 in total, and he'll be happy with that. Doesn't have to push any further. They've already got the advantage. Pushing through that smoke at this point could be a little bit detrimental. Vega, at this point, the best they can hope for is a bomb plant, but I'd be kind of happy with just a kill at this point, considering the way it's going for them.
Smart decision to back off that. Obviously, they knew he was out toward the club when they threw that nade in. And you might have decided, oh, well, if he's there, he's trapped in a corner, he's naded, let's just push him. But they were well aware of the fact that they could have been rotating back over in his direction and giving him some support, so they play discipline. Keep an eye on forced buying today as well. We saw it still from G2 yesterday on this map. It severely hindered Kenny S's ability to bring out not the op, but armor with it. He played glass cannon a number of rounds. You were critical of that, rightfully so.
Yes.
As RPK waits toward Monster yet again. MP5. I'm still not in love with it, but he's going to use it. Good effect. Gets this Molotov down as well, and that'll do further damage to give him an assist onto the Tony Black kill that Alex achieved. It's another round to Vitality, and I think all 5 staying alive, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, that's what they were looking for, but they didn't opt for the rifles across the board here. A couple of SMGs going to be brought into this first gun round. This is where Vega can bring out the AKs. Not absolutely everything they need. They'll have AKs, armor, and maybe a couple of Molotovs, as you can see there. But it's enough to definitely win a round. But you'd expect Vitality to maybe go for an aggressive push somewhere, try and get an opening pick and upgrade one of those SMGs to an AK. We'll see if MBK is that way inclined. Starts heading towards middle. And he'll be just monitoring towards the T steps there. So nothing too aggressive in the CTs, but they have got a 4-man stack towards that B bomb site. So maybe we'll see some action and maybe some flash antics to try and get that opening pick towards Monster Matt. Looks very likely. Watch out for the flashbang. They know they need initial pick. The flash looks good. And here comes Alex. Taken down by Tony Black. He gets the double. And as we expected, a bit of aggression there from Vitality, but really hasn't worked out for them. And now it's a 5 versus 3 where Vega Squadron don't have to react. They can just hold up and wait for the reactions. But there it is. ZywOo fighting back here. Apex into this kill. They're back in the round, and he absolutely does. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 now. Crush, Chopper, and JR with their smokes available, still all on 100 HP, but that round swung out of their favor very quickly.
Absolutely did. Still 3-on-3. Spread out across the map. They've got a minute to work with. They can try and dissect the defense, and JR might be the first to do so, already at the corner at long. Crush rotates back. Bomb still at Monster. Interestingly enough, if these two make contact and they can confirm that all 3 are on toward the A site, which we know they are, that bomb goes in and gets a plant. And if they can do it without overcommitting, then they can rotate back Crush, which he's already starting to do so. The problem is MBK might catch this. That timing. He's still going to confirm that Bathroom's clear. This should almost lead to a rotation from Apex because he's not outside of the site. Yes, timing's everything. The bomb will get there, but there's still going to be a fight ensuing, and MBK gets in behind Crush. Problem for Chopper. He's now left alone, and they know he's there. Got to be faster. JR's got to get moving. He's still walking through connector. He's got to go. He expects that MBK's close, but just get on with it at that point.
Yeah, he's still walking, man. The fact he has no utility here makes his chances of winning this almost 0.
The doubt in the other side. Oh, this could still work out. I'm very surprised. They could have almost got on that defuse, but they had no idea where he was. That gave him a window.
Yeah, there was certainly an opportunity there. They were trying to just bait him out and take him down together. They had 3 players up, but that's still a well-recovered round there from Vitality. Remember, they pushed towards Monster, and it went to a 5 versus 3 against him to kick things off. There needed to be trades. There needed to be something coming back in their favor, and it was ZywOo pushing short, looking towards that pipe, managing to open things up, managed to get enough aggro away from Apex or Monster to trade out another kill, and then the retake began. Bomb was planted by Vega. The money's still okay, but as you can see, 2 AK-47s, 3 MAC-10s. This will have to be be a set piece. I'd assume towards the B-bomb side. We'll see if that actually comes through, but that's where you want to be heading towards in these sort of rounds. You've got the MAC-10s, you want to be close range, and exactly, they head towards that B-bomb side. They won't even just go for a straight-up rush here, but the incendiary's down towards short. They'll extinguish it with this smoke there, and up we go. They need to find opening kills very quickly. Them applying pressure is actually looking pretty good for them as the MAC-10s trading out kills, but Alex in a great position here, utilizing the scope of the AUG and managing to actually get them the advantage here. Can the bomb be planted? Maybe, as Alex now is challenged by 3. It goes down to the 2-on-2, and Zywoo will be dropped as well.
BK looking to the pillar, waiting as well on the right side where Tony Black has to emerge from. I shouldn't say has to, but most likely is with the smoke down on the left. A one-on-one, both knowing the other's location. But Tony has the advantage in that he can control the peak right or left, and NBK is pretty much just in the window. That said, he's got the headshot angle, and the bomb can't be planted with him standing there unless the fight ensues. Vitality go up 4-0.
Well, there it is. Vega Squadron knew they had the money low on Vitality. There was a chance there'd be a few players out of helmets at that point. That's when they've gone with that very aggressive B-rush, essentially. They've gone through the short area. Obviously, they want to make it as close range as possible, those MAC-10s. They managed to trade out kills and bring it right down to the 1 versus 1. But it's MBK shining for Vitality. And yes, a difficult situation for him. There was certainly control for the terrorists, and they continue to buy here. They get maximum loss bonus. It's now a 4-0. At the start of the game, you get max loss bonus at this point. So still not ideal. They have the 3 Galils, 2 AKs, still trying to punish this B-bomb side. They go in quickly again. Much more passive hold this time in the CTs, and RPK's got his work cut out for him.
Yeah, that smoke down toward jungle is really going to make his life extremely difficult. Fast approach, Alex gone. He's pretty much got to sit back and wait, so bomb plant is inevitable and already achieved. RPK wants to get immediately back on top of the site. Small gap in the smoke, tries to use the sandbags, can't spot anyone retreating off from the bomb. That's really what his ambitions were. And look at the post plant from Vega. This is almost a guaranteed round. In fact, they're already setting up for exit kills. MBK's evaluating exactly where they are toward Monster. He'll find JR, but he's not going to go much further. And you can tell by the language of RPK's positioning that they're playing passive on this. They just want to hurt the economy. Vega's going to win their first round, but it is a full bonus. Remember that, because you start with 1 additional round in bonus in the current meta, in the current build from Valve. So every kill they get is massive, and Chopper just barely... Oh, he does go down from there. I thought he was just barely out of the range, so he's gone. That's another AK down. That's 4 out of 5 on a reset.
Well, that's Vitality accepting the fact that that round has fallen apart. Vega have been focusing that B-bomb, so they know the money's low on that side of the map. They won't necessarily have the incendiaries again because all the B players keep getting dropped. Yes, Vitality are winning the rounds, but they're still distributing cash out and trying to balance things out. So that's a good call from Vega to pick that round up, but damage done by Vitality towards the end. And RPK actually managing to take down 2 with him as it goes 4-1, but you can still see the money's there. So I will bring out the AWP now. They've still got rifles, and Vega Squadron loses. It's double eco territory. Are they going to go towards B once again and just go for that fast play? It's been quite the dramatic start for them. Indeed, they're just going to fly up towards shore and try and make this happen.
Aggressive. Apex wins it out, though. Pucci and Chopper down, both at his hands. Tony Black behind the smoke, wants to swing. Can't really do it, though, can he? Alex already on the ramp. RPK behind the barrels. They don't have a Molotov to even... Oh, I take it back. It was in the air, so it didn't see it in the inventory because it was already being thrown. It's exactly what they needed to force RPK off the angle, but even when he goes, they didn't spot him coming, and Tony had nothing he could do about it because Crush was smoked off.
Well, the B-rush completely pushed back, and it's up to Crush and JR now with 1 smoke and a MAC-10 on the player on his screen right now. He has to make something happen here, and you can see an extremely defensive angle here from Zywoo. Hits the shot, actually, so it takes JR down to 20, but unlucky not to get the kill there. Will they be able to get a plant off this? The bomb starts to make its way towards the site. A slight chance in this 4 versus 2, but something crazy will have to happen any second, and it's the AK that's planting, so the MAC-10 can't really do much work just yet.
BK getting Crush. So yes, bomb planted. That'll be defused immediately. More so because NBK has killed off JR already, but he was running back with a MAC-10. That's the reset. So Vitality's in a fantastic position this morning.
Yeah, looking very sharp indeed. Bomb planted, but still in that eco territory. Maybe not double eco now, so we'll see what they decide to do if they go for a force buy here, or just take the eco, which is what they should do because they can buy up next round, no problem. So CZs, Deagles, a little bit of armor there. Chopper spending a lot of cash. He's actually fully invested with a CZ, HE, and a smoke. Like I said, they could have brought up next round. So this is an ambitious approach from Vega Squadron. If they're going to B-rush again, I'd be very surprised at that. Didn't really work out with the rifles previously as they start to make their way toward connector. We'll see if they get any sort of challenge. It actually looks clear from the CT point of view. Just MBK again. This is a setup we've seen before from Vitality. 4 players towards B, and they've had a lot of B rushes, so you can understand that. With MBK Molotoving towards T steps to buy some time, and if it's not a rush, they'll start to rotate back towards that A bomb side to make sure he has some backup here. There it is, ZywOo with the AWP just holding in a defensive position.
Aid to the barrels.
Okay, Apex.
Yep, it's got Crush already from up on top of the window high through the wall. He figured that out perfectly toward the door. He's looked pretty solid the last few rounds over on B. He's playing in that swing position. He's kind of the rotate between the two sites. Oftentimes that can be difficult on this map if you don't have enough information, but he's making it work. And Alex getting aggressive with the AUG. He's going to find Hutchi. He goes down outside of Monster. Tony's still hanging out in that position, but 4 HP for him. Pistols only, as we mentioned. It's pretty much another done deal, isn't it?
It should be, and I felt like they invested way too much into this round. There was a buy available with AK's utility, and now after being eco, they still haven't lost the round just yet, but it's not looking very good. Tony Black on 4 HP, still with just a couple of smokes, no upgraded pistols, no kills found as they make their way back towards A. This is just a formality, really. I'm not sure how they make any sort of damage occur at this stage. 20 seconds remain. They have to try and get a plant down here. Will that be possible? Smokes deployed. They'll definitely give it a go, but MBK will not be letting them get close whatsoever. He wants to fight heads up. As the bomb gets dropped, it will be ZywOo to find that kill, and an easy frag for MBK, and a nice one to finish things off there. 6-1, and you can see MBK 9-2 right now, looking sharp, and as you mentioned as well, Apex looking very good on that B bomb site. So nice rotations, tried to hold off the B rush at the start, fell back towards A, denied the plan, and it's looking like Vitality are off to a flyer here. Has to be the eco though, as we mentioned. Vega Squadron investing a lot of cash in the previous round. This allows Vitality to stabilize their own economy at this point. You can see it's okay right now. They actually have a buy in hand, but they should win this hands down and be very established for the rest of the half. MBK really feeling it. With the AK especially, might go for some more audacious picks at the very beginning of the round. Smoke to suggest there might be an AWP presence behind it. You can boost up in the party area and just look over that smoke towards T steps, and you can see the Deagles trying to take advantage of that particular matter.
So Chopper back toward the playground no sooner than, or excuse me, I should say the party, no sooner than they want to try and converge from the stairs. They'll clear out the front of bathrooms, but that's almost gifted as NBK has gone back. Don't think he spotted the hand of Chopper in that position. Watch for ZywOo. EWP at bomb box. He can swing out both directions. Apex and MBK, though, have the front of bathrooms, so imagine he'll just watch out toward long, and it's confirmed there's at least 2 more in there. Bomb dropped twice. In fact, it was picked up incidentally by Crush and then dropped again as MBK got both kills. Just Tony Black left. 7-1 looking very likely, and Vitality, this is more what I expected. I know you're still very critical of the French scene right now in the rebuild process. Surprisingly, first off, I had Vitality to beat G2 in this event. I think they absolutely would outplace them. I have them as going through, or at least I might have predicted it before yesterday.
I think it would be disappointing if Vitality didn't go through at this point. It's expected. It would be certainly disappointing if they didn't actually get further than this. This game looks like it should be a lock, and this is the kind of form we expect from Vitality. ZywOo's turning up, Apex and MBK joining him as well. And Alex not having a bad game either. We'll see if the tank comes online as Vega Squadron seem to be running out of ideas. The B rush is not working out for them, and now they'll find themselves in a position where the cash still not amazing. You see Hutchi and Crush right down there at the bottom, 1-8 and 1-7 as they struggle to really sink their teeth into this game. So the AKs are out, but no AWP. They have the basic utility required, but a lack of flashbangs here as MBK. Same setup, 4 players towards B. He will throw the incendiary at T steps to slow down any fast plays at the A bomb site and allow his teammates to fend off any B presence at the start of the round. They can push off towards short and just change the pace a little bit of the game and start taking it towards the terrorists. We'll see if they're that way inclined. We're going to get a boost going and see if ZywOo can open things up with the AWP. That's what he's going to try and do. No problem at all, it seems. Tony Black goes down, and another opening advantage there for Vitality. And RPK pushes through Monster as well. This is fantastic. Really nice adaptive play, making sure he takes advantage of the opening pick there. They'll have no chance of actually making their way back towards Monster at this point.
RPK holding, you're right. It's a tough position. We talked about this yesterday as well, that fence, that doubled fence. It can swallow bullets. Not this time. JR's going to swallow them instead.
Yeah, that's quite a convincing kill. And at this point, that aggression doesn't have to be in place anymore. RPK, though, cognizant of the fact they could be waiting for him on the other side. That's exactly what's going to be happening here. RPK will be dropped, but Alex still in a promising position, but he knows he's got pressure from both sides.
Puts his attention firmly on the doorway, though. The Molotov going down. They're going to make noise running toward him. That's easy. He's even going to wait and see. Ooh. Taken down from the op. Does get the kill. Now knows the door's open. Good shot from Chopper in return, but Alex had awareness. He knew what he had to do. He just couldn't get it done. Chopper's left on 2 HP. Hutchie has bomb. He's got 92, but it's going to be a tough task to get inside of the site. Utility used. One to cover off pillar toward Cat. That allows them to round out. Molotov's forced it. They can get a bomb plant down, but Zywoo's got other ideas. He steps in with the CZ.
That's really nice from Zywoo. Looking at the time, he realized he was able to be a sacrifice at that point. They still had the advantage even if he went down. So with 4 seconds there, he pushed through the CZ. Clinical as ever. That's all we've come to expect from him. And it looks like we have a timeout now from Vega as they try and recalibrate and work out what's going on here. If you're just joining us and missed the pre-show, this is the 1-on-1 game, so no one's going home, so it's still a best of 1. Vega actually looking like they're not turning up to this particular map, and Vitality look like they're having a great day. Really enjoying their form. The aim is there, the synergy, and taking advantage of opportunities as well. It was Zywoo got the opening pick of the AWP towards Monster, and him moving around the map, finding those picks. If they clear our position like Monster with an early kill and kill play and T-spawn, for example, it's very likely that position is going to be clear at that stage. RPK pushes through all the way near towards that T-spawn, punishes JR as he comes around the corner. He does go down, but the damage had been done at that point. Alex's position really locked them down, and they'll have to take another eco at this point. Chop up will spend a little bit more cash. He gets the helmet and P250 combo. They'll presumably bring out the AWP next round.
Nice nade.
Yeah, very good nade there.
No armor. Dunked on. He's down to 24 Hutchie. They've been, Vitality, pretty smart about reading the economy, but also not over-challenging this bathroom position. They've played Crossfires more passively on A, and it's worked out for them. Can't really argue with results. Nifty little boost, top of the bench, above the sign, spot down toward the front of, or I guess the corner, the entrance to the site, see if anyone's there. Don't want to be found though on the deagle, so they'll go back to standard formation and walk toward the entrance. As NBK, he'll flash out, that'll slow them down, but they're going to try a different angle. More depth this time, they can see into the site rather than just toward the flower pot. He'll be calling as well because Chopper's sliding down, so any information he gets is going to be beneficial to them. MBK's got to be careful of that. He's still watching front. Okay. As expected, he does look over to his right and put some shots that direction. Should catch out. Chopper does before he can retreat. Remember, there's only 24 on Hutchie, and he's already booking it back toward the stairwell at mid, meaning we're going to head over toward B.
Yeah, it'll be a desperate attempt. Don't have anything to work with here. The Incendiary will segregate them as Alex mows them down there with the AUG.
I held my breath just because he's throwing that as they're right in front of him. If they stepped out, they might have been able to drop him.
Well, not going to be the case. Alex actually looking pretty strong on that B bomb side as well. I'm sure all aware that the AUG is king right now on the CT side. And at this point, you can see they've got no armor. It takes 3 bullets against an armored opponent in the body of the AUG to get a kill, even less, of course, with the armor. So it does chew through opponents. 9-1. This game hasn't really warmed up yet. We'll see the AWP for the first time, though, on the Vega Squadron side, almost certainly here, as they know they need to start challenging Zywoo, who seems to be having a little bit too much fun around the map right now, as well. No AWP. Oh, there it is. JR's got it. Finally. 4 and 10. I'm sure he'll post some numbers. He has turned heads of majors before. Will he just challenge middle or maybe head towards B? He'll go at the T steps here. Maybe just straight down towards connector and see if anyone's challenging that particular position. It's a different setup this time. Not 4 players towards B. They've messed up Incendiary there, I believe, but it's still going to be NBK challenging first and somehow coming out on top. Bit of help from Apex there with the HE as well. Certainly required as 2 kills come in. That's a nice change from Vitality. They've been having that heavy B setup throughout the entirety of this half, and now 3 players at A, a lot more aggressive, and Vega just weren't ready for it.
That's I just finished saying last round that they've been so passive on A, and then they go straight out toward them as soon as the guns come back up. Just throw it in the face of Vega Squadron. That's a very good call. And you're right, the Molotov did miss. It actually clipped the top of the hedge. Do you guys call it a hedge in the UK?
Yeah. Bush, hedge,
yeah.
all sorts. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes you guys have weird words for stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true.
Crush will get Apex. Zaiwu will take back Crush. That ends the round. Only one player dropping. Vitality's money is absolutely phenomenal at this point in time.
Yeah.
Not so much for Vega, but they are building back up that bonus. It will actually be a maximum at this point in time.
But you do need bomb plants to actually keep that consistent. It will get you up by, like this one. But if you lose this round with no plant, you'll be down to Deagle armor again. They haven't really showed up here, and Vitality just absolutely toying with their food right now. As you can see them changing setup, and Vega Squadron trying to adapt to what's been presented previously. It really isn't going too well for them. This is the same old Incendiary, and this time Zaiwu gets that orb. Remember, he's been moving around this AWP. He just wants to change position every single round. Looking towards Connector now. Suspects the player already crossed, but that's not the case. He'll be flashed, but he's still going to hit this shot. You can feel maybe even the double kill coming in here. Chopper must be shaking in his boots as he tries to flash him off. It's a successful flash, and he might be able to live for a few more seconds here. Zaiwu just going to try and get out of the situation at this point as MBK protects him from middle and takes down one. Will he get the second? He's looking incredibly sharp today, Matt.
Super good from Nathan. Another 2 kills. We've seen hints of it from everyone. That's ideal.
Yes, this is a team that could do well in this stage. This is what we hope to expect from these sort of names.
Yeah, really contributing. Alex, again, we mentioned him. Apex has been on the swing. Alex has been holding with RPK. RPK's getting in on it. Zaiwu hitting shots on the up, and then obviously the aforementioned MBK. Forced off already, Chopper. He wanted to make contact at Monster. He'll give that up. Smokes down on sandbags. It's Tony that's actually going to go toward the railing. I imagine this will be a boost because they're desperate for a pick at this point. This is a smart look. NBK's the low HP player, but it took him a minute, Chopper. I don't know if he actually started to slide a bit or if the player underneath moved, because it was a while before his aim got on, and he actually got tagged significantly even in that duel, which he couldn't afford. And then Alex, good movement, gets pushed out. Apex comes around behind. Kills are confirmed. Fortunate they found MBK on the boost. I thought maybe there was going to be something in that, but not to be.
Definitely not. 11-1. Remember, this is the best of one. Vitality looking to get 2 wins and 1 loss under their belts. And like we said, without that bomb being planted, you can see the money's just not there. They have to take a Deagle and armor round. Chopper's gone for that tactical purchase, quite popular with the CIS region. It's going to be Chopper with AK, armor, and that's just designed to crack open a site. They can hopefully capitalize quickly and pounce upon any sort of pick he can find. Zaiwu connected previously, B before that. Now he'll be focusing his efforts towards those T steps. Spots a couple of players there. Decent grenade, should do reasonable damage, actually does, towards Hudgy and JR. He won't find the frag, but he's happy with that. Doesn't want to be taken down and give away the orb, which could be very detrimental indeed.
Alex is going to burrow into the cubby. Door open, he's heard that. Problem is, he's in a position where he can still be spotted through short tunnel. That's why he's actually stood up on the railing, because that way his feet are a little higher, he's harder to spot. Gets the kill on Crush, knows that the door is still open, so checks it and sees Tony. That's 2 down. Chopper's committed to Monster, he won't be able to swing back and catch him, and RPK is watching that position, well set.
Well, that's the AK removed, and now it's a 5-on-2 once again. Hutji and JR with absolutely nothing here. JR has armor. That's about as good as it gets. No grenades, and now 5 versus 1. Everything is going incredibly well for Vitality right now. That is a nice shot from JR, but it should be dealt with accordingly. The AWP recovered, and it will be Vitality finishing with 4 players. At this point, their money is so out of control, that kill doesn't even matter for them. They're going to have money for the rest of this half. It's no problems. Only a few rounds left now as they recover the weaponry. Not even breaking a sweat right now. Vega have barely put any frags on the board at all. Hudgy's still on 2. Same story for Crush. And the top frag is at 6 after 14 rounds. It feels like this map might be done, I'm afraid, because Vega just looks so flat. It's going to be Chopper, who invested previously in the last round. He'll have to be on the Mac 10. JR has the AWP, but he's got no helmet. There's so many compromises having to be made as they desperately try and claw back into this one.
Interestingly as well, even with the seeds perhaps having the upsets yesterday, it spreads out the skill gap in some of the bracket, if that makes sense. The other French side is getting absolutely battered.
No.
G2 is down 9-2 currently on the A stream.
That's I put them as a winner today, as I thought it couldn't get any worse than what we saw last night.
Yeah, it's true, but Avangar is the one that's tossing them around a little bit right now and giving them trouble.
Damn. G2, what is going on over there? They managed to squeak out a victory 16-14. It wasn't pretty, but they got there. Yesterday owned by Ents, and now Looks like they'll be taking another crushing defeat to Avangard, but as this game develops, it's the French actually doing very well on this stream. Vitality do lose the first pick. Finally, an advantage for Vega Squadron. They take down the AWPer as well, so that's a very valuable pickup. RPK is being tagged as well, but they need to start posting rounds. The problem is, Matt, they have one smoke, one flash to try and fully commit to this side. AWP not recovered, but MBK, he has been playing a lot of heads-up CS, and what is Crush up to? There's no one with him, there's no utility drop, there's no trade potential. That's a very basic philosophy of the game. If you have an advantage, you need to stick together and make sure that's maintained. If you commit to choke points like that, where an AWPer could be around the corner or a setup, any sort of stack, and you have no flashbang going over or smoke, could be an absolute nightmare. Bomb is dropped, that's going to call for rotations, RPK. That is absolutely wonderful. As he holds strong with the AWP, he's done his job at this point. Alex in position there to close out the round, and what looked like a positive start for Vega Squadron is quickly thrown out the window as Vitality continue their rampage here on Overpass. This is just absolutely done. This is Vitality going to be finishing this first map in about 15 minutes, it seems.
Apparently so. Remarkable. Again, best of one, not an elimination or an advancement match.
Yeah.
It's a 1-1 square in the middle, but that would throw potentially Vega down toward G2 if they don't succeed. Even throwing away guns and spawn, despite that it's the last round. Why not?
We'll give it a go. And then there will be the B rush. It worked out for them once before. The only round they picked up so far is courtesy of this approach. And RPK burns two of them to a crisp, finishes off Chopper with the bullets. And you can see how locked out the bomb side they are. This is an absolute nightmare for Vega. They've just had no chance at all. Every shot landing on the Vitality side. Tony Black left in a 5 versus 1. And it's all over in the first half, 14-1. It can't get much more convincing than that.
It can't. Vitality will be absolutely loving this. What they needed. A comeback yesterday that put them at 1-1 because they were almost facing elimination this morning. Now things are looking much, much better. Not so for Vega Squadron. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with the second half.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Bedway, and Pay Safeguard.
It's called halftime at 15 rounds because, in theory, a game in regulation can last 30. I don't think this is going to be representational of the true half because this one seems like it's going to be done much sooner than that. It's 14-1 Vitality as we join, and them starting on the terrorist side.
Yeah, all Vega can really do here is try and scrape back a little bit of dignity and make this a competitive game. There's absolutely zero chance they're finding a 15-0. They win the pistol, I guess the universe. They somehow take this to overtime, but we'll see what they can do. We'll focus on the rounds as they come. PD50 for Apex. He's also got the smoke flashbang combo, and MBK with a bit of utility as well. He's got the smoke and Molotov. So that sets him up quite nicely for an A execution here. If you're going to go towards B, you'd normally do it quite quickly at the start of the round and get in their faces, but all options are available for them. As JR, Tony Black, holding aggressively here. They've got no one with them, and they'll pay the price. And will be Chop Up, looking to trade things out, but feels better off just falling back to a more defensive position. And at this point, Vitality, with the advantage, you want to go for a 5-man execution here. You want any antics, like someone lurking over towards A and then trying to suggest it's a fake. You just want to go in with a nice execution, take advantage of the fact you have this opening pick, smokes down, Molotov the barrels, and just trade out kills. But there is a boost. That could be a slight caveat here. We'll see if it is an issue. There's the Molotov and the smoke, perfectly done. This is so nice from Vitality. That's an absolutely spot-on call. And he's going to do nothing.
Yeah. Not at all. MBK waiting to bait in ZywOo. He's up on the railing again, trying to keep those feet high. Just swinging around. Catch the off angle. Be higher than the crosshair placement would expect, and he will get JR door open. Now they'll focus firmly on the sandbags, but the rotation's back toward the bomb for the retake. We'll get at least that close. The problem is they lost that duel out toward mid so quickly that everyone has cover, and they can peek accordingly. NBK with 2. Hutchie against 5 in this point. I thought maybe they were going to run him down with the knife, but it's 15-1. This one's pretty much over.
It is indeed. That was really, really well done. I can't stress that enough from Vitality. That's some Counter-Strike experience and pedigree finally shining through for these French teams. Great strap. They managed to get the opening pick. That's all they needed, and they took advantage of that fact. They didn't panic. No one ran off trying to suggest a fake or any sort of tomfoolery. They go back towards B. They execute perfectly. 2 smokes on the bomb site. Molotov towards a barrel, eradicating those risks. Plant comes in. That boost is completely useless. And then Vega, they tried to double nade the Plant. That was their plan. Didn't do enough damage there, and the round falls out of their grasp. But it's going to be 15-1. That is essentially GG at this point. They've got a chance in this round to steal it back with the auto shock and the CZs. But like I said, just trying to make the scoreline more competitive at that point, just to kind of save face, is about as exciting as it gets for them.
Playing the edge of the smoke, NPK. NPK?
MPK. His alter ego.
Yeah, that is. Someone showed off pretty actually simple self-boost to get up on that railing. Adequate with KZ movements, you can certainly get up on top of the small pipe beneath and then just jump the other. ZywOo wants to work out from the doorway. He's actually going to go back and take it back. Apex is going to hold it instead. He's going to rotate around the long way and join RPK instead toward Monster rather than go through short. That's a bit peculiar. Was bomb back there? I thought he had it the whole time. Anyway, shotgun. Round 15, 46 seconds.
Could work.
For round 16, Vitality, it could. He's in a position that he can swing, but he's going to be overwhelmed. Timing is everything, and they're in together. Yeah, doesn't even get any damage. ZywOo with 2, NBK as well. JR does find 1 back on the Deagle, but really at this point, I don't think it's going to matter. Bomb's already planted. Tony dropped by NBK, and with that, it all comes down to Junior.
Well, this is quite the statement from Vitality. They didn't look their absolute best. We had a couple of players not turning up yesterday, but they've just 16-1, the most convincing scoreline we've had out of all the games played so far at the tournament. That is fantastic by them, and I'm actually quite excited. If they can keep that level, this team can turn up consistently, we might have a chance of talking about Vitality and actually making a deep run in this major.
Yeah, it's a little bit early for me to say deep run. Remember, next week we get the legends showing up.
I'm romanticizing and being sensational.
It's a romantic day.
Exactly.
Invented by greeting card companies to make people feel like crap. That's an opening quote from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So I just had to use it.
You bought anyone any cardboard or sugar this year?
No. So today is actually far more special than Valentine's Day for me.
Okay.
You know why.
I think I do.
Yeah, it's the love of my life's birthday.
That's
actually.
exactly what
it's Jaden. It's Jaden's birthday. But let's not get too off topic because there's about 5 people on Reddit that make threads when you do that continuously. Nonetheless, that is a pretty impressive game from Vitality. I don't want to romanticize it too much and say that they're going to go deep yet.
Yeah.
But I think they're certainly going to make it through this stage. And a win like that, the confidence that that induces, they're going to be feeling more comfortable about themselves. They're going to feel more confident. And I think that's going to translate well.
I just like the general approach. I'm aware that Vega did not look good there. They did not turn up there. But the thing is, everyone on Vitality looked like they're hitting their shots. Good calls, calm gameplay, nothing too crazy or technical. Just a good, solid game of CS there. And we're seeing Zywoo turn up to the major. He didn't yesterday. NBK looks astonishing. Apex is up there as well. The names we want at the very top are actually performing.
You're right that it was Vega making it a little easier, but the change of pace on A was a great call.
Absolutely.
The fact that they were disciplined and not over-chasing kills, we saw that as early as round 2 when they naded behind the pallets, but then didn't commit because they knew there was a possibility the other players would come back down through spawn and they'd get into a fight they didn't want. There was some smart decision-making, which is often something we criticize the French teams for. Obviously, the force buying, being too aggressive, certainly G2 looking too individual yesterday. So, yeah, all of that is something I like in this Vitality team.
Me too. I'm excited about them going forward in this tournament. I feel like, yes, at this point, if they can actually wake up and stay at this level, we should see them go through to the next stage at this point. They are now 2-1. That's going to leave Vega 1-2, and they'll have to face an elimination game next. And not quite the Sharks they were in previous majors, are they?
No, not at all. Famous and came to fruition from upsetting NIP, and they've always been a thorn in people's sides since then. We're going to take a break after this one. This one was very quick. We come back. Our next game on this stream will be NIP versus Winstrike, so don't go anywhere. You definitely want to see that one. We'll be back in a bit.